Hey everybody, welcome to this video. My name is Iris, and in my videos I talk about self-love, relationships, and our expanding consciousness. And today I want to talk to you about intuition and how so many of us find ourselves in really uncomfortable, unhappy situations as a result of not listening to our intuition. And our intuition is really our inner guidance system that is leading us on our highest path for our highest good. But it also requires that we really trust ourselves and not do the things that we feel like we want to do. So we ignore our intuition because we want something so bad that we go against what we really feel are the little red flags and the yellow flags that kind of show up when something feels off. And we tend to move ahead anyways because we think that going ahead anyways, things are going to be okay, that person will change, the situation is going to work out. We do things out of fear. There's a lot of different situations and moving parts to listening to our intuition, trusting that if we say no to something, that something better is on the other side of us saying no to something. But here's the thing, and here's why I want to do this video, is because so many people do find themselves in these painful situations that they don't really know whether it's their intuition talking or whether they're coming from a place of fear. So I want to address both of those things. Now, I already talked about how it really requires us to have a lot of faith and a lot of trust in the decisions that we make for ourselves, and trusting that when we listen to our inner guidance, that, like I said, there's something on the other side that is much better for us. Okay. So the way intuition works is that we feel it in our bodies. Our bodies will never lie to us. We always feel it into our body, but we're also very quick to dismiss it. So when the next time you are in a situation, let's say, for example, you are starting a new relationship, and this is something really, really common, okay? Let's say you're starting a new relationship and things are going great. And for the first few weeks, you've built this amazing connection. You think you have found your soulmate. You are just over the moon. This person is the be all and end all. And you just can't believe how the stars are aligning and things are amazing for you. But then you start to sense something being off, and you can feel it, you sense it, it makes you uncomfortable to the point where you either don't want to talk to your friends and family about that thing that's bothering you, or you start talking about that thing. And then on the other side of that, you might justify the behavior. Well, there is that one little thing, but oh, but he or she is so amazing in all of these other ways, right? So we've got that internal tug of war. So instead of taking a step back and looking at the whole new budding relationship in a whole bigger picture, instead of diving right in and keep on moving full steam ahead, a lot of people just ignore this phase that is so critical at the beginning of a relationship, because they want it so bad that they ignore their own intuition. But so they keep on moving forward. So instead, what would be a great thing to do is, like I was saying, take that step back and look at things from a different perspective, like a big picture. Don't keep moving full steam ahead, but start to pay attention to the things being said, the things not being said, how the environment is around you two as a couple. You know, do you feel like this person wants to keep you isolated from their friends and families after a given period of time? There's always that phase where you just want to spend time together, but after a certain amount of time you should be integrating into the friends and the families and growing together as a couple, external to just yourselves. Okay, so if you were to take a step back and look at this bigger picture and start observing and start asking the questions of, you know, why aren't we doing this? Or that's just one example that I'm giving you. And this is the really difficult part, because at this point, chances are you've already got invested emotional feelings for this person. So to be able to stop and actually listen to what your intuition and what your body is really telling you is difficult for people. But it is so important, because if you continue to ignore signs like that and you keep moving forward, you just have to know that there is something deeper brewing, and it is going to cause you grief. And this is the hard part, because this is where you have to know what you want and what's important to you and what you value. And if you were to listen to your intuition, and if you have a clear idea of what it is that's important to you and what you're looking for from a relationship, it would be much easier. I'm not saying painful, less painful, but it would be much easier for you to cut it off at that point, trusting, and here's the thing, trusting that that situation would only cause you a lot of pain and discomfort down the road. That is one example of how ignoring our intuition leads us into situations where we cause ourselves a lot of pain. And I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to that. It's, you know, in those relationships, we're always being given signs. We're always being given clues to who that other person is, because take people at face value. People will actually show you who they are. It's just a matter of us listening to our own intuition and tuning into our bodies and listening and being able to identify what it is that we want. Like, why do we want that thing? You know, have you ever asked yourself, why do I even want this relationship? Where do I want this to go? How do I want to feel in this relationship? And it doesn't even have to be about relationships. It could be about business partnerships. It could be about a job. I've turned down many jobs because it just didn't feel right. The opportunity was massive, but it didn't feel like it was right. And sometimes I couldn't even explain why it wasn't right, but it just didn't feel right. So I turned it down. I've also done the opposite, where because of the money and the opportunity, I went ahead with it anyways. And I remember my first trip, getting into a cab to go to an airport, I felt this absolutely sinking in the pit of my stomach feeling that I don't really want to be doing this. I don't really want to be doing this. But you know, because the opportunity and the money was there, I did it anyways, and I hung in there for a whole lot of years, crashed and burned a couple times throughout the time that I worked for this organization. I don't know what was on the other side of it, but I guarantee I would not have had the experience of the heartache of having to leave my kids at home while I went out on a business trip. That didn't feel good to me at all. So we've all done it, right? So I think what's really important, and the thing that I really want to impress upon you in this video, is that sometimes our fear and our desire to really want something overtakes our listening to our bodies, to that sixth sense that we have, that is our inner guidance. It is our navigation. It is our path to our own success, our own internal happiness, and in helping us create more flow in life. And that's what we all want at the end of the day, is that inner happiness and feeling a flow and feeling kind of balanced and settled in our lives. But it does take a strong knowing of what it is that what we want, why we want it, why it's important to us, how it aligns with our values. And values is really important. How does this align with our values? Do these business partnerships align with our greater vision and also their greater vision? Do our romantic relationships, do they align? Do we want the same things? Are we at the same level of emotional maturity, or are we looking to have somebody rescue us so we can be whisked away into a fantasy life that where we don't have to deal with our own stuff, that type of thing, you know? So listening to ourselves and paying attention and being honest and truthful with ourselves about what is really going on will greatly reduce the stress and strain and turmoil that we experience as a result of ignoring our intuition. I hope this video has been helpful. Please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe to whether you're watching this on Facebook or Instagram or on YouTube. Leave a comment. Let me know how I can help you and support you. I'm sending you so much love. Please take good care until I see you again. Bye.